becomes three best friends, Amanda, Chiza, and Kayla. They are not just rude and proud, but also bullies. This time around, they try to bully this young lady for no important reason. The school authorities get to know about their mischievous act and decide to invite their parents. Amanda's father was present and gets informed about his daughter's recent bad behavior in school due to her association with bad friends. He is also informed about the school's decision to suspend his daughter for 1 month. Amanda's father becomes so ashamed of her daughter, accepts the suspension, and takes Amanda home. On their way home, he informs Amanda about his decision to cancel her summer trip to London. This was for Amanda to attend summer school to make up for the 1 month suspension. Amanda gets infuriated as to why her father is making such harsh decision. Upon getting home, through phone conversation, she realizes that she is the only person who is having a month suspension. Her two friends get 2 week suspension each, and this is because their parents negotiated with the school authorities and made some payment to the school. This made the school authorities reduce their suspension duration. What a world! This is an advice to all of us to be careful of those we associate ourselves with, since we all have different backgrounds. Amanda tries to talk to her father to also negotiate and make some payment to the school authorities for her suspension to be reduced. Her father tells her he will fix the situation. Amanda happily leaves her father's room, thinking her father would be doing what she pleaded with him. Her father realizes Amanda is becoming spoiled because of too much pampering as the only daughter, and decides to teach her a lesson despite her mother's intervention. The next day, Amanda's father surprised Amanda with a new school uniform. He's changing Amanda's school. He decides to take Amanda to a school where there's so much discipline and less pampering of students for Amanda to learn the hard way. On their way to the school, Amanda gets so angry and feels her dad's punishment is too much for her. Upon getting to the school and seeing how people are being disciplined, Amanda begs her dad to take her back home. However, her father forcefully takes her out of the car to her new school. Amanda's father leaves her at her new school, Prince Memorial High School, to start her new life there. Amanda looks confused and frustrated by just looking at the environment of the school. This school environment is so different from her former rich school. 3 girls observe how confused and at the same time classy Amanda looks. They begin to wonder what a classy looking girl is doing in their school. They assume she is probably a maid in one of rich homes in town and decides to confront her. But Amanda acts rudely towards them. They were so offended by Amanda's act that they decide to deal with her. Amanda, taken to her new classroom, finds these same girls she disrespected. After the teacher leaves the class, Amanda again says mean words to them as she goes to her seat. This time around, one of the 3 girls, who goes by the name Simi, decides to deal with her. They started a serious argument such that one of the prefects in the school overhears the noise coming from their class and decides to go and see what is happening in the class. She meets Simi and Amanda arguing on top of their voices and asks them to follow her. The prefect reports the two to the headmaster of the school in his office. The headmaster is shocked seeing Amanda already fighting with her colleagues. The headmaster already knows how spoilt and rude Amanda is on his first meeting with her and warned the girls to desist from fighting. He spares them, especially Amanda, from any punishment this time around because of his friendship with his dad. When they closed from school, the three girls meet up with Amanda and deal with her. TK, a guy in the same class with them, comes to Amanda's aid. He tells them to leave Amanda alone and tries to be nice to Amanda, only for him to get rude response from Amanda. TK ignores Amanda's rude behavior because he was crushing on her. A few minutes after the confrontation, Amanda's driver comes to pick her home. Upon getting home, she meets her dad, who has already been informed of Amanda's show of bad behavior at school by the headmaster. Amanda tries to prove innocent and tells her father how the three girls are after her life. Amanda begs her dad to remove her from that school, but her father, knowing how spoiled Amanda can be, did not buy into her proof of innocence. Her father stands on his decision not to take Amanda from that school. Amanda angrily runs out of the house and deflates her father's car tires. After what she did, she leaves a note on her bed and runs away from the house. Amanda's mother makes calls to people nearby as the husband drives out in search for Amanda in the neighborhood. He finally finds Amanda sitting at a nearby park. He asks Amanda why she's sitting somewhere open and nearby, since her letter states that she is running away. Amanda tells her that she has nowhere to run to, and her father then asks her to follow him home. Amanda apologizes for running away and also deflating his car tires. He only tells her that the money he used to fix the tires will be deducted from her monthly allowances. He takes Amanda home. Her mother gets happy on seeing Amanda back home. Amanda apologizes to her mom. Her dad tells her to go prepare for school, which Amanda obliged. He then drops her off at school. During lessons in class, Amanda busily finds herself reading a storybook instead of paying attention to the teacher. The teacher catches her unaware and hits her with a cane. Amanda angrily insults the teacher, calling him an abusive monster. Amanda again threatens to report the teacher for child abuse and leaves the class. However, Amanda gets summoned to the headmaster's office for the second time for insulting a teacher. She tries to defend herself in front of the headmaster that she is not supposed to be hit with a cane and that in her former school, students are being punished either by suspension or detention, but not by caning. The headmaster asks her to go and apologize to the teacher and also punishes her. Amanda gets home from school and overhears her mom's conversation with her dad about a call from the school on Amanda's behavior again. Her mom tries to beg her dad to reduce Amanda's punishment by taking her back to her former school. They argue for some time, but her dad stands on her decision to punish Amanda his way. Amanda regrets her actions, goes back to her room and cries her eyes out. Amanda finds herself in another trouble. She goes to school late and meets the same teacher she disrespected, punishing those who come to school late. Amanda joins those kneeling down and write her name for punishment later in the day. Upon getting to her classmates begins to make fun of her. They say the words Amanda said to the teacher and start to laugh at her. Will the new and changed Amanda respond to her classmates? Interestingly, Amanda ignores them and goes to her seat. Later in the day, Amanda gets her punishment for being late. Her punishment is to read a portion of the school. Amanda, who obviously doesn't know how to read, struggles reading her portion. The teacher discharges the rest of those reading after inspecting their work, leaving Amanda. There comes TK again, the Good Samaritan. TK offers to help her weed the grass despite her rudeness. Mr. Loverboy ignores her act and still helps her to weed. Simi, who also is interested in TK, finds TK helping Amanda and gets offended. School closed and Amanda goes home. She meets her friend Chiza and Kayla from her former school in her house. Chiza and Kayla become surprised upon seeing Amanda in a new uniform and start to laugh at her. She tries to explain how her dad is punishing her by taking her to a low-class school. Her friends get surprised and start to think Amanda is lying. They think Amanda's family is broke. That is why her father couldn't pay the school authorities for her suspension to be reduced. They try to cut Amanda from their friendship zone since her parents are now broke and leaves her house. Amanda gets hurt by their act and tells her mom what has happened. Her mom tries to explain to her how her friends doesn't deserve her because their love for her is based on material things. She tells Amanda how bad her friends are and advises her to forget about them and make new friends. She accepts what her mom tells her and decides to move on with her life. As part of fitting in and accepting her new school, she decides to alter her school uniform in a way that will match her personality. This is Amanda in her altered school uniform. On this fateful morning, Amanda wears her altered school uniform as she prepares to go to school. As she leaves her room to the dining hall, her parents see Amanda's new uniform and are surprised. Amanda tells her parents that as part of surviving in her new school, she has to slay. Her father isn't pleased by Amanda's act. He questions why Amanda has altered her uniform to be that short. Amanda tells her father that it is just a little above her knee. Her mother supports her and she goes on to eat. Here comes almighty Amanda at school with her altered uniform looking all bright and hot. This time around, she feels happy with her head up. In as much as Amanda is naughty, she is also brilliant. Amanda solves an equation that the class finds it difficult solving in some few seconds. Most of the students become surprised at her brilliance and gather in front of the class as they go through the solved equation on the board. Among the students gathered are Simi and her friends. They get jealous seeing how brilliant Amanda is. A class member makes fun of Simi that she can't solve what Amanda solved, which gets her more jealous. During break time, as Amanda sits at a corner of the school to read her book, one of Simi's friends called Nenji goes to her and tries to befriend her. She tells her how she is not in support of what her friend Simi is doing to her. As they talk, TK and his friends walk by. Amanda asks of TK from Nenji why TK is so full of himself. Nenji explains to her how popular TK is in the school and how brilliant he was until he lost his father. After a short conversation, Nenji leaves Amanda and she continues to read her book. On Amanda's way to class, she meets TK. TK asks if she is now ready to be his friend. Amanda turns him down, telling him she doesn't want to have anything to do with him because he looks so unkempt. As they talk, Simi and her friend sees Amanda and TK talking again, and thus increase the jealousy of Simi and plans to disgrace Amanda in order to spoil their friendship. The next day, TK dresses nicely as a gentleman due to what Amanda said to him the previous day, just to impress Amanda, and it actually works. Amanda gives in to his friendship request. During break time, when Amanda and most of the students were out, Simi and her friend Amara placed a calculator in Amanda's bag. Nenji, as usual, is not in support of their actions and tries to advise them to stop, but they still did it anyway. Simi goes to report to their class teacher that her calculator is missing. The teacher, upon coming to the class, asks the class prefect, who happens to be Simi, to search the bag of the student. As she searches the bags, she gets to Amanda's table and searches her bag. Lo and behold, Simi finds the calculator in Amanda's bag. The whole class gets surprised, including the teacher and Amanda herself. Amanda gets interrogated as to why the missing calculator is in her bag. She defends herself that she did not steal it and that her monthly allowance can buy multiples of that calculator. As she's being interrogated, Nenji, Simi's friend, knowing the truth, becomes uncomfortable seeing Amanda going to be in trouble for what she did not do. She quickly tests TK on what is happening, and TK hurriedly comes from his class to defend Amanda. He fabricates his own story that Simi gave him the calculator and he kept it in Amanda's bag. They ask Simi if it is true, and because of her love for TK, she could not say otherwise but to affirm. Amanda is now set free and gets back to her seat. During lunch break, she meets TK and asks him why she came to her aid and that she could have defended herself. TK tells Amanda no one would have believed her and that things are done differently in the school. Amanda now thanks TK and asks how he got to know about it and came to her class. TK jokingly tells her a bird told him. Amanda leaves TK as TK leaves to meet Simi. He asks Simi why she did it, but Simi pretends to be innocent and plays a victim that TK does not trust her. The next morning, Amanda gets ready very early for school. Her parents get surprised why Amanda of all people wants to go to school that early. She tells her mom she has things to settle at school. That's her reason for wanting to go early. Her mom accepts to drop her off at school as her dad is not ready yet. She gets to school and moves towards the staff toilet. She meets TK, who gets surprised seeing Amanda in school that early. Amanda tells him she has unsettled punishment and she is going to attend to it. TK, as usual, offers to help, but this time around, Amanda isn't ready to let anyone help her. She tells TK that she wants to be responsible for her own actions. As short as TK is, he agrees to let her go and do her work all by herself. Amanda does a perfect job cleaning the staff toilet. Yes, you heard me right. She perfectly cleans the staff toilet. Her teacher comes to inspect her work and frees her upon seeing a good job done. Amanda goes to class and confronts Simi as to why she placed her calculator in her bag and framed her for stealing. The argument gets heated and Amanda warns Simi that she has crossed the line and should watch out for her. Smart Amanda meets Nengi and plays with her mind that Simi mentioned her name, that she placed the calculator in her bag. Nengi, unknowing that Amanda was outsmarting her, confesses that it was Amara and Simi who did it, and even told her she was the one who tested TK to come to her aid. Amanda gets the proof she wanted. Interestingly, she was recording with her phone and so recorded what Nengi said. This is enough proof to redeem herself. She walks away to meet Simi again, now with the voice recorded evidence. She tells Simi she has evidence of their act. Simi didn't believe her, but she tells Simi to follow her for the proof if she doesn't believe. Simi follows her to a corner of the school and tells her to confess or she will report. However, Simi fails to confess and Amanda threatens to report. Simi stops her and asks what she wants. Amanda then makes it clear to Simi that she is in the school for just a month and wants Simi to stay off her way till she leaves. Simi agrees to her terms and Amanda leaves. Simi's friend Amanda saw Simi with Amara and asked Simi why she was with Amanda. Simi tells her what happened. Her friend Amara tells her she doesn't believe Amanda and that they shouldn't give in to her terms. Simi agrees even though she is confused. At break time, as Amanda sits reading her book, TK comes and converses with her. She asks TK why she's being nice to her. As they talk, Amanda makes an innocent statement. However, little did she know that the statement offended TK. TK asks Amanda why she looks down on poor people and angrily leaves. Amanda becomes surprised since she didn't mean to offend TK. Amanda goes to meet TK. She apologizes to him that she didn't mean what she said and she promised to be a better person. After which she moves to her class. As the lesson was ongoing, the teacher asks Amanda a question and she answers it brilliantly. Unfortunately, just after answering, and the teacher had resumed teaching, Amanda's phone rings. The teacher hears it and asks Amanda to bring her phone. The teacher got angry since it's prohibited to bring phones to the class. He then asks another teacher to help him search the bags of all the students. He orders the entire class to move from their desks as the teacher searches. The teacher finds some phones in the bags of some other students. The teacher calls all the students with phones out, including Amanda, and tells them to bring their guardians if they want their phone. During lunch break, Amanda finds herself reading as usual. TK goes to sit by her as they chat. Amanda tells TK what happened in the class and also how people are angry with her because of that. TK cheers her up. As they keep talking, Simi and her friends walk towards Amanda and TK's direction. Simi gets jealous as always. Her friends advise Simi to tell TK her feelings. Simi tells them she feels bad about it and that a guy is supposed to propose, not the other way around. Her friends find ways of convincing her and she accepts to write a letter to TK. Amanda goes home and tells her parents about what happened in school with the seizing of her phone. She tries to defend herself and tells her parents how important it is to have a phone with you for emergencies. Her father tells her it is against the school rules and she should therefore abide by them. Her father leaves and Amanda talks to her mom. Her mom agrees to go with her to school for the phone. The next day, Amanda's mom goes with her to school. Her mom's beauty caught so much attention. Her mom goes to meet the headmaster and takes Amanda's phone. The headmaster advises Amanda's mom to let Amanda keep the phone at home. They part ways and Amanda's mom leaves the school. Amanda's classmates who saw her mom gather around her and tell her how beautiful her mom is. Simi, on the other hand, finds herself racking her brain to find words to write for TK. She struggles finding the right words to use. Her friend Amara comes to give her ideas to use for her love letter. School closes and Simi is done with her letter to TK. Simi monitors TK as she chats with his friends. Confused as to how to hand over the letter to TK, Simi finally decides to put the letter in a textbook that she was going to hand over to TK. Simi goes to call TK aside and hands over the textbook to him. She instructs TK to read from the first page of the book where she kept the letter. TK takes the book and Simi leaves. TK ends the conversation with his friends and they leave as he leaves. The letter in the textbook falls off without him noticing. A guy from Simi's class walks by and finds a paper on the floor. He picks it up and it's Simi's letter. Simi goes over to TK's house to discuss the textbook she gave to him. TK is preparing to write an exam since he wants to change class from science to art. If he passes the exams, he will be in the same class with Amanda and Simi. Simi has been the one helping him with his studies. As they learn, Simi expects TK to say something about the letter, but TK doesn't. This makes Simi very uncomfortable. Simi asked TK if he had read it, but unknown to TK what Simi was talking about, he said yes, thinking it was the textbook. Simi asks what he thinks about it, and TK says nothing. Simi gets offended by his response and leaves TK's house. The next day at school, Simi tells her friend what happened and TK's answer. They both seem lost as to why TK would give such a response. As they talk, the guy who found Simi's letter on the ground comes in and starts to mock Simi, calling her lover girl. Simi gets confused as to why he was calling her lover girl. They argue and this makes the class noisy. A prefect walks into the class and asks the class to mount their tables as a punishment for noise making. Amanda ignores the prefect. The prefect questions Amanda why she's not mounting the table, and she tells the prefect she can't do that. The prefect takes her to the principal's office and the principal asks her why she disobeyed the prefect. She tells the principal she may get hurt in the process and that she wasn't even making noise in the class since she has no friend to talk to. The principal pardons her this time. Simi walks by the school corridor and upon seeing TK, immediately turns back just to avoid him. TK sees her, calls her and asks why she's avoiding him. Simi acts mean to him, thinking he has read the letter but has decided to make a fool out of her by not commenting on the letter. Simi calls him a terrible person. TK is confused, not knowing what was wrong with her. Simi warns him never to talk to her again and left. TK then moves to the staff room to write his exams. The exams came in earlier than expected, but he had no option than to write, even though he wasn't too prepared. Simi meets the guy in custody of her letter, and the guy tells her about how he got the letter. Simi demands for the letter, but the guy refuses and gives her conditions. which are buying him lunch for the rest of the term, excluding him in the names of noisemakers, and giving him her notebook whenever he needs it. He threatens to read the letter to the entire class if she refuses to this condition, and Simi, being scared of that, agrees to his condition. Simi meets with her friend Amara and tells her about the guy in custody of her letter and her conditions. Her friend gets angry and advises Simi to search the guy's school bag for the letter. At first, Simi was hesitant, but later agrees and searches his bag. As they search the school bag of the guy, Amanda comes into the class and sees them searching a bag. They try to explain themselves as to why they are doing that. Amanda tries to ignore them until she hears Simi is being blackmailed by the guy. She gets interested and offers to help take the letter from the guy. They give her details of where the guy is and she walks straight to the guy. Amanda demands for the letter, but the guy refuses. They then bargain on a price to pay for the letter. They settle on an amount and he gives Amanda the letter as Amanda gives him the money. Amanda opens and reads the letter, walks to Simi and Amara and hand over the letter to them. Simi and Amara takes the letter, act ungratefully, and leaves without even saying thank you. TK sits lonely in front of the school corridor. Amanda sees him and walks to him. She asks why he seems quiet and moody, which is unlikely of him. TK tells her he's okay, but Amanda insists there was something wrong. After intense persistence, he finally confesses that he wrote an exam unprepared and he's scared of failing. He told Amanda the reason for the exams and Amanda cheers him up and leaves. Amanda goes home and while cooking with her mom, she tells her mom what happened at school and how she stood against blackmail even for her enemy. Her mom becomes happy knowing what Amanda did and was proud of her. Amanda tells how ungrateful the girls were. Her mom commended her for doing the right thing. Her dad hears her mom commending Amanda and comes in to ask. Her mom tells him what has happened and her father is glad that Amanda is changing. He left and Amanda continues chatting with her mom. The next day at school, TK receives his results for the exams and goes straight to Amanda and announces his victory. Amanda is happy for him. He goes to Simi too, even though he isn't in good terms with her, and tells her about his victory since she taught him. He scores 80 over 100 and Simi becomes happy for him and hugs him. Simi, now knowing the truth about where the letter is, follows TK outside, apologizes and mends her broken friendship with him. TK is now in the same class with Amanda and Simi. Simi goes out for break and on her way back meets the guy who took his letter. The guy thinks Simi is bringing him lunch as agreed. Simi challenges him to read the letter since she is with the letter. The guy mocks at Simi, but Simi ignores him and leaves. TK's friends meet him and are angry with TK for not showing up at their joint. They feel TK is changing because of a girl and they angrily leave TK. School closes and TK walks alone to his home since his friends are angry with him. As he walks alone, Simi sees him and asks him of his friend and why he is walking alone. TK refuses to talk about it. Simi advises TK not to be friends with them since they are bad influence to him. Simi offers to walk with him home. She holds TK's hand as they walk home. Along the road, Amanda sees them as the driver drives past them. I wonder what's going through Amanda's mind seeing them together. The next day at school, TK and Amanda still glances at each other since they sit next to each other in class. Simi sees how TK stares at Amanda and walks to him to distract him. A guy runs to the class and announces that the principal is on his way to their class. The principal walks in with two other guys who were caught smoking weed. The guys are to mention names of their friends they smoke with so that they will all be suspended, but the guys refused. TK happens to be friends with them, but on this fateful day, TK wasn't with them since he is now distancing himself from them. The entire class murmurs since they know TK is friends with them. Immediately, the principal leaves. Simi and her friend go to TK and advises him not to be friends with them again, as the entire class also turned their attention to TK, thinking he was part of them. TK gets frustrated by what the entire class was doing, and Amanda, seeing his frustration, decides to call him out so that the entire class will take their attention off him and talk about something else. TK agrees to follow Amanda out, and as they go out, TK thanks Amanda for taking him out of the stress, accepting he was stressed. Amanda questions him about the incident and asks if he has ever smoked before, of which TK pleads not to answer. As they talk, they see their class teacher coming towards their direction and quickly leaves to class. School closes and Amanda's mom picks her up. As they drive home, her mom asks her about school and if something interesting happened. Amanda tells her about the guy who were caught smoking weed and how they have been suspended. As they get home, Amanda's mother seems frustrated about what Amanda told her. She decides to talk to her husband about it. She feels the school is not safe for Amanda and pleads with her husband to take Amanda from the school. Amanda's father refuses and throws a question to her that how sure is she that there are no weed smokers in her previous school. They continue their argument and the wife angrily leaves the room since her husband wasn't ready to buy into her idea. The next day at school, before the English lesson, their English teacher goes round the class as she scolds them from making noise in class when there is no teacher. As she moves round the class, she sees Amanda with lip gloss on her mouth and stretches her hand to clean it from her mouth. She scolds Amanda not to wear lip gloss to school and that is not acceptable. Amanda informs her that she has a lip dryness medical condition and the lip gloss is prescribed by her doctor. The teacher doubts her and Amanda tells her to confirm from her mom. The teacher calls her mom to inquire about what Amanda said. Her mom confirms and she hangs up the call. Amanda warns the teacher to inquire before making conclusion next time. The entire class screams in shock. The teacher shuts them up and continues teaching. After the class, the entire class moves to the lab for another lesson. TK sits near Amanda at the lab. He asks Amanda why she left the English class early. Amanda tells her she heard the class at the lab is combined class and also the teacher annoyed her. She talks about disliking how teachers are hostile and aggressive in the school. TK tries to explain to her that is their way of disciplining children. Amanda argues with him on why it's not good to discipline children in such manner, and as they continue talking, Amanda gets angry that TK is judging her because he's defending the school's way of punishment. She angrily leaves her seat by TK and moves to sit somewhere else. Simi, seeing Amanda leave her seat by TK, immediately moves to sit with TK. The guy Amanda goes to sit by starts to communicate with Amanda. He asks if she's the new girl shaking up things in the school. Amanda freely chats with him as she laughs. TK watches them as they talk with so much jealousy in his eye. He moves straight to Amanda and kisses her. The entire class watched them in shock. The principal enters the class and sees them without Amanda and TK noticing him. He opens his eye widely open in shock. TK tells Amanda he loves her, and Amanda also confesses her love to TK. Simi keeps calling TK but to no avail. He finally hears Simi's call, turns to look at her and woke up from his imagination. Can you imagine? He was imagining the whole kissing incident all this while. The principal walks in and their lesson begins. During their English lesson the next day, the teacher distributes pieces of paper containing the names of ladies in the class to the male students. The name a male student picks will be his partner in a debate competition. They were to prepare themselves and present on Monday. The winning team will represent the school in a debate competition. The guy who took Simi's letter opens his and sees Amanda's name on his paper. Immediately the teacher leaves, he goes straight to TK and tells him who he had, which is Amanda. TK plays with him to exchange it with him, but the guy accepts on condition that TK gives him money. He names his price, but TK bargains and finally gives him 500 naira and takes his sheet of paper. Simi walks to TK and asks him who he had. TK tells her he has Amanda, and she is surprised and angry at the same time. Simi tells him to exchange his paper with the guy who picked him so that they become partners since they already studied together. TK tells her he has already informed Amanda about him being her partner, but she can't believe her ears. TK turns to Amanda and tells her she is his partner. Amanda asks TK that they should start doing something on the project. TK tells her that a day isn't going to be enough for them to prepare. Amanda asks TK over to her house on Saturday and Sunday so that they can continue working on it, and he agrees. As they start to discuss the topic, Amanda asks TK what he knows about the topic. TK tells her he doesn't know much about it, but will read on it before their next meeting, which Amanda accepts. During lunch break, Simi goes to Amanda and instructs her to drop his partner, which is TK. Amanda asks her why she is saying that, and Simi tells her because TK is her friend. Amanda also makes it clear to Simi that TK is also her friend and only friend in the school for that matter. She then refuses, and Simi warns Amanda that she will take her down in the debate. You wish, says Amanda, and she leaves. On Saturday, TK dresses decently and goes to Amanda's house. He first meets the gateman and tells him his intention to see Amanda, and was later allowed into the house. He was directed to knock on the door in the house, and he does it. Amanda's mom responds to the knock. Amanda has already told her mom about TK, so she lets him in. Amanda comes to the hall to meet TK and asks him to move to the dining hall where there is table so they can study. TK tells Amanda how nice the house is. As they talk, Amanda's mom brings juice for them and tells them she has ordered pizza for them. Amanda's mom asks TK if he likes pizza, and TK responds yes. Her mom leaves and TK and Amanda continue talking about personal things, where Amanda makes it known to TK that the woman she saw is her stepmom and that her biological mom died when she was born. TK consoles her and Amanda tells him she has forgotten about it. Amanda asks TK if he misses his dad. TK is surprised and asks Amanda how she got to know about it. Amanda tells her a bird told her. They talk about themselves for some time and later start learning about the debate. As they learn, Amanda's father walks in. TK stands up to greet him. TK stretches his hand to greet him and tells him why he's there before his father accepts to greet him. Amanda's father goes up to meet his wife and asks about the boy downstairs. He wasn't too happy seeing Amanda with a boy from Prince Memorial School. Amanda's mom ignores his panic because he refused to take Amanda from that school. Amanda's father goes to wash down, after which he moves to the sitting room close to Amanda and TK and monitors them as they talk. TK feels so much tensed. On Monday at school, they have their debate. 2 teams each round. One team speaks for and the other team speaks against. The names of the team that won the competition was posted on the school's billboard. Amanda and TK on top and Simi and her partner on second position. The 2 teams qualify for the next competition. A student from the class goes to announce the victory to Amanda and TK. As the happily rejoices over the victory and chat, Simi and her friends walk into the class and sees them happily chatting. She feels offended and goes back outside with a crying face. Amanda sees Simi crying outside the classroom. She walks to her and asks why she's crying, but Simi pretends to be fine, wipes off her tears, and walks away from Amanda. Concerned Amanda goes to Nengi, Simi's friend, and inquires from her why Simi is crying. Nengi tells Amanda that it's because Simi hasn't been able to pay her fees and due to that cannot attend the competition. During break, while Simi cheers up some students playing football, Amanda walks to her and tells her she wants to talk to her. Simi tries to ignore, but Amanda insists. She drags Simi to one side where there was no one around and tells her what Nengi has told her. She asks if Amanda is there to laugh at her, and Amanda tells her she wants to help her. Simi rejects and tells her she is not one of her charity cases. Amanda insists, and Simi asks why she wants to help. Amanda tells her she wants Simi to go for the competition. Simi finally accepts Amanda's help. She asks how she can help, and Amanda tells her she's going to speak to her dad. Simi thanks her and Amanda leaves. At home, Amanda runs to her dad at the kitchen and talks to her dad that she wants him to pay the fees of someone in her school. Her dad asks why, and she convinces her dad that he taught her to be selfless and the lady really needs help. She pleads with her dad, and her dad agrees to pay the fees, although he was amazed about Amanda asking him to pay someone's fees. Immediately Amanda leaves the kitchen, her dad runs to his wife and tells her what Amanda is asking of him. Her mom didn't show any sign of surprise. Amanda's father asks if she is not surprised, and her mom tells her Amanda has done something like that before. Her dad is happy seeing the change in Amanda and tells her wife the punishment he gave to Amanda is working. Amanda, Simi and TK are back from the competition with the trophy. They won the competition and the class shouts as they praise them for winning. Simi holds the trophy and lifts it up celebrating their win. During break time, Amanda sits outside to read her book as always. TK walks to her and congratulates her for carrying the team at her back. She asks Amanda to follow her so that he can take her somewhere. Amanda asks if it's in the school premise, and TK assures her it is. Amanda follows him to Prince Memorial School Love Garden. They sit and talk. Amanda asks TK the number of girls he has sent to the Love Garden, and TK replies, none. He tells Amanda how special she is and how she makes him want to be a better person. As they talk, they both try to kiss, but Amanda immediately comes to her senses and leaves TK. Simi meets Amanda and thanks her for being there for her and paying her fees. Amanda tells her not to talk about it. Simi tells Amanda how good she is and asks her if she can be her friend. Amanda accepts her friendship and they hug. Simi goes back to meet her friend. Mara was surprised seeing Simi hugging Amanda. She asks why she hugged her and tries talking to Simi not to be friends with her since she's interested in TK. She advises her and says if she likes TK, she should avoid Amanda. Simi ignores her friends and leaves. Amanda goes home from school and meets her parents congratulating her. She seems lost as to why her parents were congratulating her. Her parents tell her about being on the television and did great by winning the trophy. Amanda is surprised they showed the program on TV and angrily lifts her parents to her room. The parents were confused why Amanda isn't happy about the situation but rather sad. They both decide to go and speak to her in her room. They ask her if something happened in school. Amanda tells them that those in her former school will see her and ridicule her seeing her in public school. Her parents talk to her that she shouldn't allow herself to be mocked at because it's an opportunity for her to learn. They talk to Amanda and Amanda accepts that they are right and this is like a social experiment. She then becomes happy. Her dad leaves and Amanda continues talking with her mom. TK finds himself on his bed thinking about Amanda and the kissing incident that almost happened. Amanda also lies on her bed thinking about TK. As she was also thinking about what happened between her and TK, TK's call came true, but Amanda ignored it. The next day at school, TK tries to confront Amanda why she's avoiding her and also not answering her calls. Amanda tells her she was asleep. As they talk, Simi runs to Amanda and pulls her away that they have an unfinished business to sort out. In class, Amanda just Simi and her friends about her former school, how nice it is, and the things they have. A class student who sees Amanda, Simi and her friends happily talking gets shocked. The school bell rings for closing and they all start moving to the assembly ground. Amanda goes home from school and to her surprise, her friends from her former school are in the house. She asks them what they are doing there because they blocked her everywhere and even removed her from their page. They tell Amanda they have missed her and that they saw her on the television and she's trending everywhere. That is why they visited. They tell Amanda to tell them about her new school. The next day at school, TK tries to talk to Amanda, but Amanda ignores him and tells him she is going to the library. A friend that sees TK being ignored by Amanda makes fun of TK. Simi goes to Amanda and tells her she wants to ask her a question. She asks if she's dating TK. Amanda tells her they are not dating but are just friends. Simi tells Amanda she likes TK, but if Amanda likes him, she will distance herself from TK. Amanda insists there's nothing going on with herself and TK. She thanks Amanda and her care and leaves. A girl brought a sheet of paper to Amanda, which says she should meet TK at the school love garden. Amanda goes to meet TK at the love garden. TK goes straight to the point by telling Amanda she likes her and wants more than friendship with her. Amanda also confesses her like for TK but tells him they can't be more than friends since she will be leaving the school in just a week time. TK tells her she can visit and as well talk on phone and other social media handles. Amanda tells TK that Simi likes him and she can't go ahead and date. I'm sorry, says Amanda. She leaves. Amanda pretends to be sick just to skip school. On the other hand, TK also pretends to be sick to skip school. Are they experiencing broken hearts? Amanda tries to convince her mom just to spare her that day. She then asks her mom how she got to know she loves her dad. Her mom tells her about thinking about the person daily and having the urge to see the person. Her mom also tells her people feel love differently. Her mom asks her if she not wanting to go to school has something to do with TK. She denies and her mom convinces her to go to school. At school, Simi sees TK and calls him. She asks TK why she wasn't in school the previous day. TK tells her it's none of her business. Simi tells TK she has something to tell him. She takes TK to a corner and kisses him. TK asks why she did that and Simi was surprised TK didn't feel anything for her when she kissed him. Simi tells TK she loves him and wants to be more than friends with him. TK tells her she sees Simi as a sister and nothing else. Simi thinks TK is doing that because of Amanda and TK gets angry, pushes her away and leaves. TK finds himself again with his bad friend since Amanda he was trying to impress has rejected him. They went gambling and spent all their money. They find themselves owing a man who was gambling with them. The guy threatens them to pay him or else report to the school authorities. TK's friend asks TK to ask Amanda for the money since she is rich. TK gets furious and they start a fight. The other friend among them settle the fight and they go their separate ways. Amanda gets to class and sees on the board written TK is sleeping with Amanda. She gets angry and warns the one who wrote it. TK also walks in and asks who wrote it. Nenji points out Amara. TK warns Amara and asks her to clean it. He walks to his seat. TK and Amanda still glances at each other. During break time, Simi and Amara meet Amanda and question her why she lied to her about she not dating TK. Amanda tells them she's not dating him and she owes them no explanation. Simi tells Amanda she regrets extending hands of friendship to her and that she should watch her back. She pushes Amanda and leaves. The two friends of TK that he fought with stands at a corner plotting to kidnap Amanda and demand money from his dad since he has money. As they talk, Simi walks up on them and hears their conversation. She hides and listens to their plot. Simi is confused whether to tell her or not, but decides not to since it's Amanda, and leaves the class. TK sees Simi and calls her to apologize. Simi asks if she has accepted her request. TK tells her he hasn't, but he's apologizing for being mean and wants their friendship back. Simi accepts and TK thanks her. Simi is in a dilemma whether to tell TK about what she heard or not. As TK was about to leave, Simi calls him and tells him. TK angrily goes to meet his friend and they start a fight. One of his friends picks up a big wood and hits TK's head with it. TK falls on the ground, starts bleeding and becomes unconscious. Simi finds TK on the ground and runs to him. She reports the issue and all the students and the teachers ran helter-skelter to save TK's life by sending him to the hospital. TK! Amanda sees TK and screams his name. Simi and Amanda find themselves at the hospital with TK. Simi accuses Amanda of being the reason TK is in the hospital. Simi tells Amanda about the plot to kidnap her. As she talks, their school teacher, who stands close by, hears and asks Simi to confess before she gets herself into trouble. Simi tells her about overhearing TK's friend plotting to kidnap Amanda. The teacher calls another teacher to come and listen to Simi's confession. The teacher asks the female teacher to call Amanda and TK's parents. TK's mom comes to the hospital weeping and asking for his son. Few minutes later, Amanda's parents also come in asking if everything is fine. The teachers tell them a student got hurt and Amanda insisted to be with them at the hospital. The teacher again informs Amanda's parents that there was a plot to kidnap Amanda. She told them to let Amanda stay home for a while until the students are apprehended. The parents asked Amanda to follow them home for safety, but Amanda refuses and tells her parents she wants to see TK. Her parents insisted and takes Amanda home. TK finds himself on a hospital bed in pain and being consoled by his mom and Simi. He asks of Amanda and Simi tells him she's gone home in her fancy car. TK feels disappointed. His mom asks who Amanda is and Simi tells her she's the reason TK is in the hospital. Her mom asks if it's true, but TK ignores the question and sleeps. At home, Amanda's father feels guilty for putting his daughter's life in danger. He accepts the blame and his wife consoles him. Amanda keeps thinking about TK and the incident that happened in school. She takes her phone and sends TK a message. TK sees the message, happily takes his phone, and they start a chat even on the hospital bed. Amanda asks if she can visit him in the morning. TK accepts and sends his home address since he will be discharged in the morning. The next morning, Amanda dresses and asks his dad to take her to TK's house. Her dad refuses, saying the guy is the reason she was almost kidnapped since he's friends with the boys who plotted to kidnap her. Amanda defends herself that Her father is the reason she was going to be kidnapped and not TK, since he puts her in that school and always drops her with fancy cars. Her dad still refuses to take Amanda to TK's house. Amanda tells her dad how she hates him for doing that and angrily leaves to her room. Her mom goes to meet her in her room and tries to convince her that her dad is just looking out for her since she's his only daughter, and promises to take Amanda to see him when the whole issue is settled. Amanda accepts and asks her mom to bring her food to her room since she wouldn't go down to the dining to eat. The next morning, Amanda dresses for school and goes to meet her dad. Her dad told her she is not going back to that school. Amanda tells her father her punishment is not over and it's left with 5 days at the school. Her dad insists she is not going back to the school. Amanda screams, calling her mom to come and defend her. But her mom stands with her dad and tries to convince Amanda not to go. Amanda angrily leaves her parents to her room. Her father tells her mom Amanda is up to something and her mom agrees. Both parents leave for work. At the gate of their house, Amanda's father warns the security man not to allow Amanda out or allow any visitor in, and if he does that, he will be in trouble. The security man nods in agreement and they leave for work. Immediately they leave, Amanda calls her friend Chiza and Kayla from her previous school to come to her house ASAP. TK, on the other hand, finds himself in school thinking about Amanda and all their times together. Amanda's friend arrived at her house. The security man informs them Amanda is not receiving any visitors. He tries to prevent them from going inside the house, but they bribe him and he accepts, letting them into the house. Amanda plots with them on how she is going to leave the house. She takes Chiza's dress, disguises herself like her, and moves out with Kayla as Chiza stays back home since Amanda wasn't allowed to go out. The security man did not notice the change and Amanda goes outside the house with the aim of going to find TK. Interestingly but unfortunately, TK also leaves school to Amanda's house to look for her. Amanda has left to find TK whilst TK is also in her house, meaning he is not going to meet Amanda at home, which is very unfortunate. Will Amanda's parents find out about Amanda leaving the house? Will Amanda and TK ever meet again? Stay tuned for season 2 for all these answers.